Hello. Welcome back, everyone. How are you all doing today? So, it's our usual daily market analysis, just a brief technical update on what we are doing, what the market is doing, and how we can better position ourselves to leverage the market this particular week. So, without further ado, guys, let's jump straight into it. So, we're going to be starting with DXY, and as you can see, the last time we talked, that was on Tuesday, right before the FOMC debacle, which happened on Wednesday and then Thursday, and here we are. So we said if dollar index find its way above here, that would be a big one, meaning that if we can break above here, pull back, then we can find maybe some strength in the dollar. All right, maybe. Because why? Because it will be reacting to this particular level, this particular demand zone, reacting from there and gaining some momentum to the upside. It could be a play. All right, it could be a play at least before we get a further move to the downside, right? However, that is not the case. That was not the case. Why? Because we got a dovish stance from the Fed. Okay, there was a lot said, right? As usual, Powell said a lot of things, but at the end of everything, okay, when it's all said and done, they all stand dovish. All right, it's all dovish. We are not sure. We don't know, and by March, Powell will be, Powell will be transitioning. I mean, the whole Fed will be transitioning. There will be a transition in the whole board, and the chairman will have to like probably retain his seat or someone else. But I'm very sure Powell will probably be retiring. But I don't want to speculate too much. So we see when that happens in March. But for now, Powell still remain quite decent on. Yeah, we're not gonna extremely cut rate. We're gonna watch out. He has always been a good guy, and he know how to kind of just moderate everything, which is a very good one, right? But overall, dovishness is not what dollar needs right now. Okay, so and we saw the impact. Okay, Wednesday it dropped down here, and the rest happened on Thursday, which is today. All right, I mean, which was yesterday. Excuse me. So that is where we are right now, and it is quite crazy. Okay, so this is where we have to now be cautious on what to do. Okay, because dollar falling below 98.50, it's a big one. Okay, because the only thing we can see or expect right now is a further drop. Okay, a further drop all the way to the downside. But I mean, don't take my word for it. All you have to do is just wait. Okay, we still have today, then we have next week to see what is going to happen, and I will be here for sure to explain how it's going on. I mean, what is going on. So technically, I would say wait for some push to the upside like this. Okay, and maybe we're gonna have a chance to sell some more dollar before the end of the year. All right, how next year is positioned, I genuinely know. I'm not sure if we have any bullishness on we can expect any kind of bullishness from the dollar right now, because on the daily time frame, this is everything that happened this year. All right, just so you know, this is the whole of this year, from here to here. This is everything this year. So I don't think we can expect anything super extreme from next year. Probably, okay. I'm gonna stretch a little bit right now. Probably we can get maybe the first half, I mean the first quarter of next year, a retest of this particular region right here, and then the market can push to the upside. Maybe the next quarter, maybe by June, we're gonna get like from January to June, we're gonna get something like this. And per adventure, after the transition in the old Fed structure, okay, when Powell is gone and the other guy came in, probably started cutting rate like crazy, because that is more like the sentiment that is going around in the market right now, that the new Fed's chairman next year, quote unquote, if you can see me right now, I'm air quoting. So maybe it's going to cut rate, and probably everything will get settled in the United States, which I'm not sure, but we shall see. But this is everything I'm actually expecting in the first half of next year. Okay, I might be wrong. I am actually not sure if this is actually right. Okay, because this is till June. Yeah, so this is June 2026, January till June. All right, right at the bottom of this is everything I'm expecting on the dollar, right? Something like this. So if we get that, if that is the case, we shall see, right? But if that's not the case, at the same time, we shall see. So maybe the last half of next year we cannot get something like this. Okay, maybe. All right. By that time, there's going to be midterm in the Congress and everything like that, possibly. So we're gonna get some shifts, we're gonna get some change, and everything will probably get molded up together. But I don't see dollar actually making a big name for itself for now. All right. I think it's all gonna just fade out. Probably we're gonna get something like this first half of next year. But do you really care about that? You just want to look at 4 hour time frame and pick some trade and just follow the market momentum as it presents itself. I know that's what you want to do, so let's continue doing that. So moving forward, okay, again, I expect for something like this, and then maybe a further sell off all the way down to this particular demand zone, right below there, and you can make some money and just chill out, okay, for the rest of the year. So that's that. Now let's start with the trade setup we discussed last week. And I mean, it's obvious as usual. We got Fed sounding dovish, sounding like they don't know what's going on in the market, sounding very weird. All right. And I used to use weird because I don't want to sound quite weird as well. Like I don't want to sound too cocky. You get what I'm saying? That's why I use weird as a term. So now moving forward, okay, we are seeing Kiwi dollar, because that's where we're starting today. Kiwi dollar retesting this particular supply zone at the top here. Okay, it's still very young. But if you ask me, I would say that last week we were expecting a break below here for a short sell before we buy from this particular region, right? But right now, I would say that maybe a two-phase kind of trade right now. Okay, a retest of this particular region, and we get a push to the upside from there, considering that DXY is not looking very good right now. It's more bearish than any time. Okay, it's been bearish heavily, but this particular drop that happened on Wednesday actually kind of just messed the whole thing up. So maybe we're going to get a better push to the downside right here, and maybe we get a push to the upside on Kiwi all the way to the upside moving forward, or maybe a deeper push to the downside right here, and then we get the market to move all the way to the upside from there. All right, so two-way, right? Two-way kind of trade. Okay, the first one is a short sell to this particular region, look for buy, and the second one is a further deeper push, correction to this particular region, then we look for buy opportunity on Kiwi dollar. But personally, I'm quite bullish on Kiwi. All right, quite bullish. We just have to wait for a retest of all this particular region. This is the borderline. Okay, this is the major structure. If this particular low is taken out, then I mean that's all for the Kiwi strength or Kiwi buyers. But I think they're gonna protect it. I think they're gonna protect it. This is more like the straw. A break below here will change everything. I mean, a break below this particular region will change everything. But I think they're gonna protect here. The buyers, they're gonna protect this particular region right here. Excuse me for that. They're gonna protect this region and they're gonna protect this particular region. If those two places are protected, okay, then maybe drop here, buy, drop here, buy. All right, that is all on Kiwi dollar. So watch out, maybe this week or next week. All right. And pound dollar, if you took my pound dollar trade, don't forget what I said. What we discussed on pound dollar, right? I mean, this is like a testament. It's all kind of playing out the way it was discussed. All right. I don't want to say I call it, I'm not that guy. All right. But anyways, we discussed it and it seems to be playing that way. So I said last week that we are getting a more like a what? I think a channel right here, but it's a triangle. All right, it's not a symmetrical triangle. All this pattern I don't like cramming them. So this is right here. This is what I'm talking about, a descending triangle pattern. All right, yeah, this is it right here. I think this is a better example right here. So a descending triangle pattern. Come on, give it to me. Yeah, this one right here. And I said it could play out in two ways. All right. It could play out in a way that the market will just drop further, as you can see in this particular example, that the market will drop further all the way to the downside. And another time is that it could play out in a more sinister way, where we get something like this, okay? Where we get something like this, okay? It will just blew to the upside, all right? So you can see, whoa, price flew up. That's baby pips for you, okay? They kind of just make everything very childish, which sometimes can be fun and sometimes it can be weird. Right, so it can. That's why I don't like triangle pattern. It can blow to the upside, at the same time it can blow to the downside. And I think we discussed this at length yesterday. I mean, the last time we discussed pound dollar, I said that if the market break to the downside, okay, decently, a very good break, and the market pull back and you get rejection from here, you should sell it. All right, that is it. However, if it doesn't do that, there is a possibility that the market will come down here, break this particular support, grab some liquidity, and then fly to the upside. So I think that the latter is what actually happened or played out, as you can see right there. However, I think we can all agree that FOMC also played into this. Okay, FOMC played into this perfectly, because FOMC happened when the price was here, and FOMC kind of just sprinkle everything. I mean, just make it very crazy. So we got that spiral, and the market is where it is. So moving forward, I think we can all agree that a very big retest of this particular region could mean a big push to the upside, right? So that is where I'm at. That is where I am right now on pound dollar. A retest of this particular resistance that is probably been retested here as support. If we get another retest right here, or even a low, a slight low that kind of form a divergence here, then we can look for buy on pound USD all the way to this particular supply zone at the top here. Then we can now sell. All right, that pullback is going to happen one way or the other. But let's see if we can get a retest of this particular supply before we sell it, and then we buy it again all the way to the upside. So that is my plan on pound dollar. All right, so watch out very carefully and closely as well. USDCHF, I told you guys that I'll be selling, right? And it is selling off. So if you took this one, I mean, happy at thou, right? Because the entry was somewhere around here. Okay, that's where I took my shot, and the stop loss should be somewhere around there. And I am still probably gonna still be building this for as long as possible. All right, I don't have it here. I have it on the other chart because I used to have one white background before, but I just figured let me use the black background without changing anything on my own analysis and all. But you should know that this USDCHF is still ranging. We are playing inside the range, so it's a very tricky game. But at the end of the day, it's still very fun. So that is that on USDCHF. Dollar yen was crazy on the other way. Okay, I think we can look for buy on dollar yen right now. Okay, we can actually look for buy on the dollar yen because at large, I'm kind of like just bullish on this one. The entry plan I'm waiting for is already here, and that is the engulfing candlestick that I'm talking about. That is morning star right there. Okay, this is a clear morning star. At least I've mastered that candlestick pattern now, and I think I can. It's just been a long time that I teach people chart patterns, so it's it left me a minute. All right, it's gonna come back. I think I want to believe that it's back now. So moving forward, so this is the morning star candlestick as you can see, and you can just look for a buy. Put your stop loss slightly below here, and probably target this particular region. Because if we take a look at the yen basket, I'm not sure I have the yen basket around here. All right, but where's futures, indices, US bonds? No, I don't think I have the yen basket here, but let's take a look at maybe the yen futures. Okay, Japanese yen futures. Right here, you see that. Let's go to daily time frame on Japanese yen future. You see, it's quite bearish, right? It's quite bearish, and there's still possibility of us getting, a better drop back down to 2024 low before we get the market to actually push to the upside moving forward. I don't have the yen basket here, but I think this we also do, okay, maybe because it can drop down here and the market will just fly all the way to the upside from there. So watch out for dollar yen, okay? Watch out for dollar yen. It makes some sense. It makes a good sense for a potential buy right now. And you can see the trend is actually very bullish, although the market just retested a superfly daily supply zone. Okay, so can we get another push to the upside? Okay, just slide to the upside without violating or invalidating this particular supply. All right, then maybe a bigger sell from there, because don't forget what we discussed on the yen futures right now. I said I want to see a push to the downside a little bit to retest 2024 low, then market fly up from there. So that might be something you want to watch out on the dollar yen. Okay, moving forward, maybe a short buy. Okay, a quick buy. All right, maybe around 200 pips kind of buy, a 2 day or 3 day kind of buy, just to get a divergence. All right, or a divergence, and then the market will just drop further to the downside. So watch out. And market, because don't forget again, dollar yen. I mean, dollar is very weak. Okay, DXY is very weak. So all you want to be doing is sell anything with USD in front. Okay, dollar anything. Okay, anything with dollar as the base currency, you want to be selling it right now. Okay, but you don't want to sell it because I said so. You want to sell it because you want to sell it. All right, not a financial advice. That's what I'm trying to say. So now, finally, let's talk about gold. Gold made a very big jump yesterday, around 400 pips jump. It was quite weird because nothing actually filmed that, nothing fueled it. It just jumped, right? But anyways, moving forward, some people will be like, I called it, I called it. I don't care. All right, I didn't call anything. The market did what it wants to do, and that's fair. But moving forward, how do we approach this right now? I would say that just wait for this pullback to end. I don't know if you want to take something like this though. But if you get an engulfing candle at the top here, just look for that buy. All right, you can take it on 1 hour time frame or 30-minute time frame, and don't sleep on it. Okay, don't sleep on it because silver is wild and crazy. But we can in fact get this particular high taken out. Okay, we can in fact get a fresh new all-time high potentially. All right, on gold before the end of the year. So just watch out. All right, this range is a lot, and I'm not sure this is the end of this rally. If this is a very good breakout, what we got right here, let me take this to 2 hour time frame so you can get a clearer look, or 1 hour time frame. If this is the breakout that we've been waiting for, okay, don't forget the if statement I'm using. If this is the breakout we've been waiting for after 2 to 3 weeks of a range, all right, I think 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks of a range. If this is the breakout, then it's going to be very fast moving forward. Okay, we are expecting for something like this again, something around that 500 pips kind of jump. All right, if it is the breakout we are waiting for. However, if it's not the breakout, in the next 2-3 hours, you'll see the market actually come back to this range. All right, something like this, and to continue, then this is going to be a fake out. It's going to be a trap, or as some people will call it, liquidity sweep. All right, so just watch out for that moving forward. Okay, I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.